Hello everyone and salam sejahtera to our fellow partners and speakers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, viewers, listeners and participants. Welcome to the NanoTech 2021 webinar under Nano Kebangsaan 2021. My name is Dr. Nur Aini. I will be your host for today. For your information, Nano Kebangsaan 2021 is a partnership program between Nano Malaysia Berhad and National Nanotechnology Center under Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation, MOSTI. It is a virtual event that consists of activities such as virtual exhibition, forum, nanotech talk, seminar and many more. Nano Kebangsaan 2021 event focuses on the nanotechnology development in Malaysia aligned with the National Nanotechnology Policy. The policy consists of 4 strategic levels that will be supported by 15 strategies and 32 initiatives, with a special focus on the area of energy, environment, agriculture, medicine, and electronic devices. The IDEA initiative aims to bring Malaysia closer to the aspiration of National Science and Technology Innovation Policy 2021 to 2030 to become a high-tech nation by 2030. Our event partners under Nano Kebangsaan are National Nanotechnology Center, Nano Malaysia Berhad, Malaysia Nanotechnology Association, SIRIM Berhad, Universiti Teknologi Mara, Nano Verification yang Berhad, Universiti Kebangsaan Malaysia. To begin our webinar this morning, I would like to share a bit of information about our webinar. Our session is called Nanotech Talk Webinar, which is a virtual session that consists of Nano Malaysia and Nano Verify strategic partners and speakers. This webinar aims to showcase valuable insight by featuring the nanotechnology market trend and issues mainly for industry companies, startups who would like to venture into nanotechnology. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, viewers, listeners and participants. Before we start the session, allow me to give the introduction or the brief introduction about our session today by Mr. Naim Abdul Rahman. Mr. Naim Abdul Rahman is the Director of Electrical and Electronics ICT Machinery Equipment Section of Madrid. He has assumed the portfolio since 15 January 2021. Previously, he was the Director of Lifestyle and Life Sciences Section. He has been working with Madrid, the National Trade Promotion Agency of the Government of Malaysia, for more than 20 years. He has served as Malaysian Trade Commissioner in several countries, such as Indonesia, Singapore, and Saudi Arabia. He has been assigned in various portfolios covering markets like Americas, Japan, Korea, Oceania, and West Asia, as well as sectors like electrical, electronics, ICT, professional, and construction services. He also has experience in exporters development, focusing on the internationalization of Bumiputra and women-owned companies. He has a Bachelor of Business Administration with a double major in Business Marketing and Human Resource Management from University of Wisconsin, Madison, USA. Alright, without further ado, I will give the floor to Mr. Naim Abdul Rahman, the Director of Electrical, Electronics, ICT Machinery and Equipment Section of Madrid, to deliver his presentation of our topic today, Going Global with Madrid. Dipersilakan.
Thank you, Dr. Noraimi, for the introduction. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning to all viewers and participants. My name is Naim Abdul Rahman. I am the Director of Electrical, Electronics, ICT, Machinery and Equipment section of Madrid. And then it is my pleasure today to be here as part of the program in NanoKEB 2021 event. I would like to take this opportunity to thank Nano Verify, Sdn Berhad, a subsidiary of Nano Malaysia Berhad, for inviting Martrade to share about Martrade and how Malaysian companies can go global with Martrade. Next. These are the components of my presentation. The first part, I'll be presenting on Malaysia's trade performance, particularly in 2020, as well as the latest trade performance up to August 2021. And then I will touch about Martrade and what sort of services that we provide to Malaysian companies so that they are able to go global with Martrade. Next. Talking about Malaysia's trade performance in 2020, basically these trade statistics refers to trade statistics of the merchandise trade. Malaysia's trade performance basically has been growing well. Of course, in 2020, everyone in the region, I would say the whole world, has been hit or was hit by the pandemic COVID-19. So countries in ASEAN region, like Indonesia, Singapore, Thailand, and even if you look at other countries close by to us, like Korea, Japan, even China, everyone was hit by the pandemic COVID-19. So we can see that our trade performance in 2020 declined, but luckily the decrease was not so big. We can see our trade declined by 3.3%. And then basically this decrease was contributed by exports as well as import decrease. But one thing that we can see, our trade surplus remained positive because we still managed to export more than we import. Our total trade in 2020 was amounted to 1.78 trillion ringgit, consisting of total exports of 983.83 billion ringgit, and then imports 800.48 billion ringgit. So we could see in this slide that our trade surplus was still good, still positive. We recorded an amount of 183.35 billion ringgit for trade surplus. It was an increase by 25.9% of the 2019 trade that we recorded. So that trade surplus basically is a record to Malaysia. So Malaysia has been recording 23 consecutive years of trade surplus. And then, of course, last year, even though we were hit by the pandemic, but we were glad to say that our trade surplus was the largest value ever that we recorded, in Malaysia's trade performance. Next. So in terms of key markets of our exports, basically our major trading partners are China, Singapore, USA, Japan, and Taiwan. And then if we look at in terms of key markets for our exports, then basically we could see China, Singapore, USA remain as our major export markets. But Hong Kong and Japan followed suit as the top 4 and 5th of our export markets in 2020. And then for imports, basically China, Singapore, US, as well as Japan, and then Taiwan are our major import sources. Then, of course, this ranking is the same as the ranking of our major trading partners. Next. These are the major export and import products that Malaysia has. In 2020, basically E&E products remain the largest export products as well as import product for Malaysia. You know, E&E alone, in terms of export, was amounted to 386.29 billion ringgit, and that represented 39.3% of our total exports to the world. After E&E, it was followed by petroleum products, which stood at 61.89 billion, with a 6.3% share. And then palm oil, which is a part of the agriculture goods, amounted to 52.33 billion ringgit and a share of 5.3%. Chemical products at 50.74 billion with share of 5.2% of total exports. And lastly, rubber products at 44.30 billion ringgit with share of 4.5%. So we could understand that E&E products, petroleum products, palm oil industry, chemical and chemical-based products, as well as rubber-based products or rubber products are the top 5 export products that Malaysia has. And then if we can reflect this to our industry capabilities, we can see that E&E industry is the largest industry contributing to our export, and it is the most important industry in Malaysia's economy. These 5 sectors represent more than 60% of the total exports. Similarly, to import, we can see it is not much different in terms of ranking of products, in imports, whereby E&E again was the largest import product with a value of 253 billion ringgit and share of 31.6%, followed by chemical products at 74.30 billion ringgit with share of 9.3% of total imports. Machinery equipment came as the 3rd largest import product, as well as petroleum products came as the 4th largest, and lastly, metal manufacturers as the 5th largest import product. Next. In 2021, in the first 8 months this year, basically, we are glad to report that we have recorded the fastest export growth so far, because yes, we were hit by the pandemic, COVID-19. Our industries, had to stop their operation due to lockdowns and movement control orders. So these are all disruptions to industries as well as to productions for our exports. But we are fortunate that we still able to embrace the challenges and then overcome the limitations that we had during the pandemic to ensure that we could continue the growth momentum. And then we could see our export grew by 24.9%, or nearly 25%, which was the fastest growth ever for our export since 1998. And then this is all contributed by almost, I would say, all products and services, because we could see the expansion in export in all product categories and goods. Okay. Next. Now I move to the second part of my presentation. I think it is fair for me to share with you about my trade. I know that there are already some of you that knows about my trade, but I believe there are still a lot more people outside there that are not yet familiar with my trade. So MATRADE is a government agency under MITI. We are the National Trade Promotion Agency of the Government of Malaysia. We are one of the agencies under the Ministry of International Trade and Industry, MITI. And then basically being the National Trade Promotion Organization or agency, we are tasked to promote Malaysian products and services overseas. Our vision is to make Malaysia as a globally competitive trading nation. And then our mission is to promote Malaysia's enterprises to the world. Next. We have 5 offices across Malaysia. We call them regional offices. They are in Penang, Terengganu, and Johor. Penang is our northern regional office. Terengganu is our eastern regional office. And in Johor is our southern regional office. We have 2 more regional offices. One is in Kuching, Sarawak, and another one is in Kota Kinabalu, Sabah. Next. We also have a global network of our trade officers and marketing officers overseas. We have altogether 46 officers overseas, comprising 34 trade officers led by our trade commissioners, and 12 marketing officers headed by marketing officers. They are normally our locally recruited staff that we recruit them to lead the office and then to help us in promoting Malaysian products and services. So the one highlighted in red, I would say supposedly to be marketing officers, whereas the one highlighted in black should be our trade officers. So we have 12 marketing officers, such as in Kiev, in Buenos Aires, in Medan, in Tashkent, in Cairo, what else? In Hanoi, in Doha, in Osaka, then in Phnom Penh, as well as in Paris. So these are all marketing officers that we have, and then the remaining 34 are all trade officers headed by our trade commissioners. Next. We have four core functions. We have four core functions. One is export promotion. The other one is on exporters development. Thirdly, on trade and market information. Last but not least is on trade advisory services. So these are the four core functions that we have. Next. Export promotion. So what do we do in export promotion? Normally we undertake export promotion programs. Our export promotion programs take forms in, I would say, in several platforms or several modes. And then the one that we highlight here are three. One is called International Sourcing Program, or in short INSP, whereby we bring in buyers from overseas to international trade exhibitions in Malaysia. And then during their visit at this exhibition, then we help to arrange business meetings for these buyers to meet with Malaysian suppliers or Malaysian exporters. So this program we usually do in conjunction with our events such as MIHAS, for example, Malaysia International Halal Showcase. Or we also do with other trade exhibitions organizers, like in conjunction with MIFF, Malaysia International Furniture Fair. Or we also do with IGEM, the International Exhibition for Green Technology. And then maybe for oil and gas exhibition like OGA, Oil and Gas Asia, that we organize in Kuala Lumpur. So we work with various parties, including the event organizers themselves, to undertake these international sourcing programs to bring in buyers, or international buyers to the program. And then more importantly, we connect these buyers with Malaysian suppliers. The other program that we organize is called Export Acceleration Mission. It is a trade mission whereby we bring Malaysian companies overseas to a targeted market. And then they can promote their products and services. And of course, in this mission, we also arrange business meeting programs. And then I would say it can be a reverse to the international sourcing programs, whereby for this export acceleration mission, we serve the Malaysian companies to promote their products, and we arrange business meetings for Malaysian companies to meet with foreign buyers. So instead of, for international sourcing programs, we bring in foreign buyers to meet with Malaysian companies. But for the export acceleration mission, we bring Malaysian companies to a particular foreign market or overseas market to meet with foreign importers and buyers for their products, services. And then lastly, we also organize trade exhibitions or trade fairs. And then, of course, when we organize trade exhibitions, either we organize our own solo exhibition, because like in the past, we used to organize our solo exhibition, such as Malaysia Services Exhibition, or in short, MSE. So this is our solo exhibition that we organize overseas. or we take part in international trade exhibitions. And then normally these international trade exhibitions are iconic exhibitions that take place in various parts of the world. And then these exhibitions again are specialized exhibitions. Um, it is specialized for certain sector. And then you could see in this slide that our programs, I mean our export promotion programs, are targeting at, I would say, all the major sectors that Malaysia has. We are promoting services, ICT, building materials, food and beverage, oil and gas, lifestyle, comprising fashion, jewelry, furniture, and then machinery and equipment, electrical, electronics, rail industry, medical and pharmaceutical or healthcare, green technology, last but not least, aerospace. So practically, we cover all types of sectors or all sectors because Malaysia has developed capabilities in these sectors. So it is time for us to say loud to the world that we have capabilities in these sectors, and then definitely we can showcase our products and the services within the sectors, within these sectors that we have to the world. So at least the world knows that we have capabilities in various sectors, and then we are ready to compete in the international trade. Next. So let me highlight these two programs that we have. We have these two upcoming programs. Then we believe these two programs might be interested by companies, especially those that are involved in nanotech industry. CosmoProf, for example, we plan to organize an export acceleration mission in conjunction with CosmoProf Asia Digital Week 2021. This event will take place in Hong Kong in November. And then this event, in terms of product scope, it covers cosmetics and personal care products. Of course, the focus is more on the natural and organic cosmetic. But I believe Malaysian companies that are involved in nanotech, for example, they may have come up with good cosmetic product using nanotechnology. And then by the time they are ready with this product, and then to commercialize this product and bring this product to the international market, then definitely CosmoProf can be a platform that your companies could join us, and could join Matrix in this event. And then the other program that we have is Semicon West 2021. Semicon West is an established trade exhibition that takes place in the US. It will be in December this year. And then if we look at the product scope showcased at this exhibition, it includes nanotechnology equipment and tools, as well as nanotechnology materials. So again, Malaysian companies that have this kind of products ready for commercialization, and then they are definitely most welcome to join us, I mean, in this Semicon West event. Next. Exporters development. This is another core function that Matrix has. Within this core function, we have various exporters development programs, as well as capacity building programs. So we have programs called Mid-Tier Companies Development Program, meant for mid-tier companies. Putra Women, Youth and Exporters Development Program, Business Exports Program. And then we have Putra Export Promotion Program. And then we also work with other organizations like Toraju, for example, to undertake Putra Initiative for Globalization, or in short, BIG initiative. And lastly, we also have this so-called Exceed program. It is, a small and medium-sized companies capacity building program. And then we focus on sustainability and inclusiveness, whereby we work together with the state government and I would say state economic development corporations, to identify ready exporters or exporters that aspire to go abroad to promote their products and services and be part of the international trade. That's why we work with the state government, with the state economic development corporations to make sure that the program is inclusive. No one is left behind in the export business. Next. And then under this exporters development programs, basically we also provide facilitation to Malaysian companies in exporting. And then we have some programs. I would say these programs involves financial assistance schemes such as e-trade, a program that is targeted at adoption of e-commerce among Malaysian companies. And then we want to see Malaysian companies to be able to export their products through e-commerce. And then, of course, e-trade helps them, helps Malaysian companies to participate in cross-border e-commerce platforms. And then they are able to improve their digital marketing skills, because we do conduct e-commerce training as well as I would say sessions, capacity building sessions to exporters that are on board of e-commerce platforms. Besides e-trade, we have market development grant. Again, market development grant has, I would say, financial assistance element in this facilitation. It is a scheme that helps Malaysian companies to defray certain cost of export promotion whenever they participate in international trade exhibition, for example, or any international trade promotion programs. And then there are certain costs that they are eligible to claim from the market development grant. This grant is only meant for small and medium-sized companies. And lastly, we have this export facilitation scheme called Services Export Fund. And then this financial assistance scheme is meant for Malaysian services providers. And then definitely, again, we don't want to leave anyone behind. We provide an inclusive export facilitation, including to our services providers, services companies who wish to export their services overseas. Next. Exporters training programs. So we conduct seminars and workshops. And then definitely these seminars and workshops is a part of our exporters development core function. And then in addition to this, we also organize on a yearly basis the National Export Day or E-National Export Day. We have been organizing this for, I would say, for 5 years by now, since 2017. Next. Just to share with you on some of the success stories created by Malaysian companies through the help of MATRE. So you could see here our mid-tier companies like that. I mean, we just mentioned their brands here: Mami, Julie's, Spritzer, Kehin, Siti Khadijah, Green Packet, Panasonic 18s, Secret Recipe, IX Technology, Dream Age, Nyalofa, Salutica, Vitrox, Les Copac, CIC. These are all the mid-tier companies that have been participating in our mid-tier companies development program, and then they have been enjoying MATRE's assistance to go to the international market. And then in e-trade, we have companies like Cookpiece, Koperasi, Usahawan, Grumbik, Perlis, Berhad, Newcastle, SP Sdn Berhad, AX Gloves, Wintex, Wepro Lubricant, TRL, and Tanchin Enterprise. So these are some of the Malaysian companies that that have gotten on board of e-trade program. They have been able to sell their products through e-commerce. You would be surprised if I say that some of their markets are rather exotic, because some of them are able to export their products to exotic markets as far as Iceland, for example, or maybe to West Samoa in the Pacific Ocean. So these are, I would say, exotic markets, that maybe we may say that we never thought of such a success story could be created by Malaysian companies, because these countries are far away from Malaysia, but through e-commerce, through internet connectivity, our companies are able to sell their products to these countries, to this part of the world that we think that these markets are exotic. Next. In trade and information and intelligence, this is another core function that MATRE provides. Definitely, we have a business library our business library or business information center, in short BIC, is one of the best business library in Malaysia. We provide a lot of information on trade and on doing business overseas. Definitely Malaysian companies can take a visit to our business information center because we subscribe to a lot of business directories, online directories, whereby you can obtain or you can print out information from these directories at a small fee. If you want to subscribe these online databases on your own, definitely it's gonna cost you a big cost. Then it might be costly to Malaysian companies. So we would like to encourage Malaysian companies to take a visit to our library, and then they can get access to all this information on trade and doing business overseas. And then, of course, we also have this facility called Integrated Center for Export, whereby we provide trade advisory services together with other government agencies, and then such as SME Corp and maybe customs. They come over to this center to provide advisory services to Malaysian companies. All right, next. All right, we have this facility called My Export. It is a web-based portal that provides trade information and market intelligence to Matrix member companies, whereby our exporters could get this information at their fingertips through their mobile phones, for example. So what are the reports that we send out through this My Export facility? We disseminate reports such as market alert reports, trade leads, as well as product and market studies done by our trade officers overseas. Next. And then in our portal, basically our portal is a 5-star ranked portal. We provide a lot of information in our portal itself. Malaysian companies can also take a look at our portal. Our portal is visited by millions of visitors every year. You can see here there were 3.6 million visitors visited our portal since 2014. And then in terms of viewing of pages at our portal, there were 33.6 million page views viewed by these visitors. At our portal. And then you also can look at in this slide that the top 10 foreign countries that visit our portal are United States of America, followed by India, Singapore, China, Japan, Indonesia, United Kingdom, the Philippines, Hong Kong, and lastly, Australia. This information is important because by the time Malaysian companies register with Matrix and become our member, then there is a high probability that your company information will be viewed by these visitors. And then let's say you target to promote your products to the Philippines or to the Philippines market, then definitely Philippines is one of the countries that visit our portal very much. Then definitely there is a high probability that people from the Philippines who might be your buyer will be looking for your profile or your products information by the time you are registered with Market. And then, of course, besides this, you can get a lot of information at Market portal. You can take a look at the online directory that we have, whereby the companies that have been registered with Market stands nearly at 30,000 companies. And then foreign buyers, even Malaysian companies, can go to our portal and look at this online directory and search for any particular Malaysian companies. I mean, either they can do by company search or by product search. So the other information that they can get from a Matrix portal is on Malaysia's trade statistics. I have shared earlier in my presentation that our trade performance up to 2020, as well as the latest up to August 2021, basically this trade statistics information is also available at our portal, and then Malaysian companies can get this information easily from there. Next. Lastly, on trade advisory services. Definitely, we provide a lot of trade advisory services to Malaysian companies who wish to promote their products and services overseas, or who wish to export their products and services overseas. They can be the first timer to export business, or those who are already ready to export to the world. So we welcome everyone to be our member. And of course, by the time they approach us, maybe they are not yet our member, but being a member will give you a lot of facilities, and then you also can have a better chance to get connected with foreign buyers, because your profile will be listed in our online directory at our portal, as I mentioned earlier, which is visited by millions of visitors from all over the world. So definitely that could be one reason why you need to register with us. And then besides that, by the time you register with us, your profile is handy to us. Our trade officers will refer to this directory and will search for your company profile in our databases. If you do not register with us, so we are not able to keep your profile with us. So definitely we are not able to introduce your company to foreign buyers whenever there is an inquiry from foreign buyers looking for your products or services. So registration is free. I have mentioned a lot of benefits that you can get by the time you register with us. Definitely by becoming a member with us, then you will be able to enjoy a lot of benefits. And definitely, I would say by that time, not only you have a thought of becoming an exporter, but I think you have developed certain level of readiness to go to the global markets. Right, next. We have this facility. Of course, it's a physical exhibition center. It's a permanent export exhibition center. It's a display center that we showcase Malaysian products and services. This display center is called Malaysia Export Exhibition Center, or in short MEEC. We could accommodate over 400 companies from various industries. And then at this moment, we have more than 25 sectors, industries, showcasing their products and services at this MEEC. And then normally the display there is on yearly basis. And then the duration is from January until the year end. Next. Yeah, I think that wraps up my presentation. Again, I would like to thank Nano Verifies, Berhad, subsidiary of Nano Malaysia Berhad, for giving me a chance on behalf of Matrix to present at this NanoKEB event 2021. I hope my presentation, which comprises Malaysia's trade performance, as well as information about Matrix and the services that Matrix has to Malaysian companies, is beneficial. Then I would like to welcome Malaysian companies to take note of the information that I have shared in my presentation, and then they can be inspired to or to register with Matrix so that they can enlist their company profile with us, which we can use their profile to promote their companies as well as their products and services to foreign buyers and importers. With that, I end my presentation here. I look forward to receiving any questions from the floor, if any. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Naim Abdul Rahman, for your fruitful presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, now we move to our second presenter. Before we start, let me share a little bit about our second presenter. The second speaker this morning is Mr. Johan Iskandar Hassan from Nano Verify Sdn Bhd. Mr. Johan Iskandar Hassan is the Managing Director of Nano Verify Sdn Bhd, the first and only Malaysian nanotechnology verification agency endorsed by the Government of Malaysia. One of the Nano Verify Sdn Bhd main objective is to facilitate the sales of genuine nanotechnology products, ensuring that both consumers and industry are protected against false nanotechnology claims. Encik Johan has over 20 years of experience in the service industry, covering oil and gas, defense, aviation, and technology. He has been in top management for well over 13 years and constantly provides strategic advice and guidance to the chair and board member. His impactful career stems from constant analysis of business landscapes in formulating industry-centric solutions within the said industries. He has spearheaded the setup and operation of various business ventures locally and abroad, focusing on the end-to-end service provision within the aviation and technology sector, driving value creation and sustainable profitability. The success of these ventures is the testament to his strong business acumen honed by constant exposure to the industry. Encik Johan obtained his Master of Engineering from University College London, United Kingdom. Without further ado, I will give the floor to Mr. Johan Iskandar Hassan, Managing Director of Nano Verify Sdn Bhd, to deliver his presentation with the topic of Nano Verify certification, providing the confidence for your business to grow.
Thank you very much, Dr. Aimi, for the very generous introduction. I'm Johan, and today I'm very happy to be here to present to you about Nano Verify and how we can help move your products, especially nanotechnology products, to the next level. So allow me to share my slide here. Okay, I hope everyone can see my slide. Okay, as I mentioned, today I'm here to talk about Nano Verify as a company and our Nano Verify certification scheme, yeah, and how we provide the confidence for your business to grow. A bit about Nano Malaysia ecosystem, yeah. Nano Malaysia Berhad Group was incorporated back in 2011, so we are 10 years old now. We are in fact a company limited by guarantee under the Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation, or MOSTI. And Nano Malaysia Berhad has been mandated, yeah, under the Federal Government Gazette dated 26 June 2013 to act as a nanotechnology commercialization entity. Yeah. So what we cover is mainly 6 activities. Yeah. Firstly is industrialization of nanotechnology, commercialization of nanotechnology R&D, development of Malaysian nanotechnology, globalization of Malaysian nanotechnology, facilitation of investments in nanotechnology, as well as human capital development, also in nanotechnology. So Nano Verify was in fact incorporated a bit later on 11th August 2015. And the main intention for the incorporation of Nano Verify Sdn Bhd was mainly to aid in the industrialization of nanotechnology, as well as the globalization of Malaysian grown nanotechnology. Yeah. Of course, the way Nano Verify does this is via an internationally acknowledged accreditation scheme, yeah, called the Nano Verify program, which I will elaborate later on. Yeah. But before I continue, here I wish to also mention that the Nano Verify program is Malaysia's first and only nanotechnology certification program as endorsed by the Malaysian government. Yeah. And our program has it been in fact been mentioned in the National Nanotechnology Policy and Strategy as an enabler for commercialization. Yeah. So this is the program structure. It's a very high-level view where we have Nano Malaysia Berhad, as I mentioned earlier, our parent company, as the program owner, and we have Nano Verify Sdn Berhad, which I am heading as program manager. So what does the program manager do? We promote consumer awareness, of course, to educate the consumers on the benefits of nanotechnology in their everyday products. Also, we highlight, the presence of fake nanotechnology products. So which of which there are quite many. Yeah, I will elaborate on this further. Okay. We also conduct industry engagement sessions. Of course, our aim is to grow the nanotechnology ecosystem in Malaysia. Yeah, and we do that by business matching. Yeah, by connecting companies in need of technology to further differentiate their product. Yeah, or to further improve their processes and hence improve their profitability. Okay, and also we have program facilitation. Meaning we do provide assistance, financial assistance to companies, SMEs especially, wanting to embark on this facilitation program for their products. Okay, so of course, as the program manager, we are assisted by accredited laboratories. So as you know, nanotechnology involves elements that are very, very small or invisible to the naked eye. Yeah. So when we talk nanotechnology, it is defined, in the ISO as an element having a dimension of between 1 to 100 nanometers in any one dimension. So it can be 1 to 100 nanometers either in width, thickness, or breadth. Okay, so just to give you an idea, 1 nanometer is the size of human hair split 20 to 30,000 times. Okay, and the size of a virus, is in fact 4 to 5 nanometers. So, like I was mentioning earlier, invisible to the human eye. Yeah, but by incorporating nanotechnology elements in daily products, what we find is that it brings about an enhancement in performance. Yeah. For example, a very, very brief example, if we add nano elements into the traditional compound for tires, they will exhibit better performance in terms of grip in the wet and dry, as well as being long lasting. Yeah. So the way nanotechnology makes this happen is by interacting at the molecular level with the host material to further enhance properties. Yeah. So that is roughly the whole idea behind why nanotechnology is very prevalent nowadays. Of course, in the age where efficiency is something very, very savvy consumers look for. Okay. Nanotechnology, in fact, has been present in our lives for quite some time. In fact, when you look at the miniaturization of electronics and components, that has been enabled by nanotechnology. Yeah. So without dwelling too much further into that, we have our Serum QAS International as our program operator. Yeah. So in a nutshell, we have our partner laboratories to ensure that there's actual nanomaterial in the end product. Yeah, and we have Serum QAS to conduct a line audit to ensure that these products are in fact manufactured according to best practices. Okay, very, very important to ensure quality. Now, Nano Verify, very briefly, other than the Nano Verify program, we also conduct 3 other services, which is consultancy and technical due diligence. Now we do this to assist companies, especially those wanting to get into high-end technology. So as you can imagine, obtaining market data as well as technical journals to justify a company's move into nanotechnology is not something that's easily available. So this is where NanoVerify can assist companies to formulate a business strategy and also to better understand how nanotechnology can complement their current processes and products. Next, we are also a nanotechnology event organizer. Other than providing certifications, we help companies which we certify, to market their products. So, of course, pre-COVID, we have taken part in many local shows, local trade shows. Roughly once a month, we will bring selected partners. Of course, they will take turns. We have over 150 products which we have certified. So, as you can imagine, at any one time, we can probably only display 20 or 30. So there will be on a rotation basis. And we also take part in overseas programs. One of the biggest programs we take part in is Nanotech Japan. And of course, every year we will bring selected partners to be showcased to the international nanotechnology community. Finally, we have program development. As you know, NanoVerify Sdn Bhd is a wholly owned subsidiary of Nano Malaysia Berhad. Nano Malaysia Berhad provides financial assistance in terms of flexible loans to companies wanting to further develop their technologies and products relating to this current technology. So therefore, NanoVerify is able to assist companies not only in terms of sourcing for funding, but also to assess which markets these companies can go into. So as mentioned, NanoVerify, we were incorporated in August 2015. This is our journey so far. Now, as you can see along the way, we have done several international exercises, and one of them, which is worth noting, is a mutual mark recognition program with Tanida. Tanida is the Taiwanese equivalent of Nano Malaysia Berhad. And this is something which is very meaningful to us because Taiwan is known as one of the leaders in the electronics, especially electronics manufacturing, and they have already a very strong certification scheme for nanotechnology products. So it is in fact our aspiration to align ourselves with these prominent players in the nanotechnology industry. So this streamlining exercise started in April 2016, and we finally succeeded in this mutual mark acceptance program almost exactly 2 years later, 2nd April 2018. So what does this mean? This means that the NanoVerify program is in fact a program that is not only the first of its kind in Malaysia and the biggest in ASEAN, but it is also recognized globally, not just by any party, but a market leader in nanotechnology, which is Taiwan. And fast forward to 2021, as mentioned, we have over 150 products which we have verified. So the actual number is actually 157. So if you remember earlier, I mentioned that there is quite a lot of nanotechnology products in the Malaysian market. So the actual number is just over 700 products. And more than 60% of these products is in fact cosmetics. Of course, beauty cells. In Malaysia, is when you talk about beauty, it is slimming products as well as whitening products lah. Both products which I think I would need lah. But jokes aside, alarming, only 157 products have been verified. So I urge all of you out there who are listening, of course, as consumers, of course, nanotechnology is very good, but please look for our logo. If we look on the left here, the NanoVerify logo, the hexagon, look for that on the product packaging. So that would ensure that products are in fact genuine, containing nanotechnology. Yeah. Okay. Now we move into the meat of the presentation. What is the Nano Verify program? Yeah, as mentioned earlier, it is a program that validates the presence of nanomaterial. Yeah. So what is a nanomaterial? Nanomaterial is defined as an element with a dimension between 1 to 100 nanometers in any one dimension. Okay. So it is still right now currently a voluntary certification program, meaning to say there is no regulation enforcing that products advertised as nanotechnology need to get our certification. Yeah. However, under KPD, products, which have claims of technology, but fail to produce any results or proof that these products are actually of that certain technology. So that in fact is already an offense. Okay. But I'm very thankful that the Malaysian industries are slowly realizing this importance, particularly when it comes to consumer trust. Like I was mentioning earlier, Malaysian consumers, we have come a long way. We are more savvy, and we are very, how shall I say, careful. Yeah, when we adopt or we purchase products, we ensure that it's original. Yeah, it does perform as advertised. So that is where this certification really helps products moving forward. Yeah. So what we have are two types of certifications. We have characterization. Characterization is the basic form of certification where we just verify the presence of the nano elements. Okay. So we verify, say for example, product A has nano silver. So it comes to us, we will check that yes, that element is in fact silver, and that element falls between 1 to 100 nanometers. Yeah, so two levels of checks in characterization. So next we have functionality. So functionality, as the name suggests, it validates the performance of the product. So back to the example of nano silver that I was mentioning earlier. So a lot of products that contain nano silver, they claim to be antibacterial. Yeah. So Nano verifies Nano Berhad, we have test protocols and partner laboratories, to validate this claim of antibacterial. Yeah. And we also have an ongoing program, which is to include safety and environmental verification into our certification protocol. So this, we are working very closely with the National Nanotechnology Center, which is our counterparts in the Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation. Of course, by now, a lot of you are asking how does one apply for the certificate and what would be the process flow. So this is it. Yeah. Of course, it starts off with application. Yeah. And in this stage, usually my team will request for company incorporation documents, business licenses, a bit on the technology involved. However, we do understand that there is the element of trade secret. So don't worry, we're not here to pinch your IPs. There will be an NDA, and we'll only be looking at very specific elements of the process, just to validate that it does contain nanotechnology. We won't look at the formulation, your source of supply. So we're just basically looking at the nanomaterial itself and where is this incorporated in the production process. Yeah. And also, as I mentioned, there will be an NDA between us. So I think you can rest assured knowing all this. Yeah. So I mentioned earlier about our facilitation. We do provide grants, for companies that are eligible. Yeah. And this will help to lessen the burden of certification. Yeah. Of course, certification there is a cost attached to it. However, as I will demonstrate later on in the slides, there's also a very strong, how shall I say, revenue increase or performance. Once consumers are confident that your product does contain a genuine technology, yeah. And I also like to add that our scheme is also entitled for tax rebates under clause 46 MA of the Income Tax Act. So for more information, you can contact my team later on. So, I think, for example, a company just embarking into nanotechnology, wanting to verify, you can take advantage of our grants. Again, I mentioned here, as and when it is available. Yeah. But moving forward, once you renew the certification, you can actually apply for tax rebate. So it is essentially free. So that is something which the government is providing to companies out there to help grow their business and to help promote the use of high-end technologies to benefit consumers in Malaysia. Yeah. So moving back to the process flow. Of course, upon our desktop audit, once we find that the documents are satisfactory, then the documents will be passed on to our operator and also our partner laboratory. Yeah, and of course, we will require samples, yeah, of your products or raw materials for our partner laboratory to test, and they will test it in accordance to our standard operating procedure. Yeah, and our standard operating procedures are aligned to ISO TC 229 when it comes to metrology and its methods of measuring nanotechnology in various sample forms. Okay. There will be also the product line inspection and audit, as I mentioned, by SIRIM. Yeah, this is to ensure that manufacturing best practices are observed, necessary licenses are obtained. Again, all of this contributes to consumer confidence. Yeah, and it is something which is which the companies which have received our certification find to be very important in marketing their products. Okay, once the laboratory test and production line audit has been completed, then my team will compile the report. Yeah, and this report will be discussed by a certification panel to ensure objectivity. Yeah, the certification panel will consist of members from SIRIM as well as Nano Malaysia Berhad Group. Okay, and once the panel has agreed, yeah, that the product meets the relevant requirements. Of course, one of the main requirements is the dimensional requirement, meaning the element needs to be 1 to 100 nanometers. And of course, when it comes to licensing, that the company has all the paperwork, meaning company registrations, business licenses, and whatnot. The panel will confer onto the company and the product. Okay, so here I wish to mention that the certification is in fact aligned to ISO 17065. Yeah, meaning it's a product certification. Yeah, so say for example you have 3 nanotechnology products, so you require 3 different certifications because it's product based. Yeah, and our labs, our partner labs are all ISO accredited under ISO 17025. So what does this mean to you? As you know, ISO is accepted internationally, and this helps your products to be sold overseas. Yeah, of course, we understand that a lot of the companies which we have certified, their products are not just sold in Malaysia. Yeah, they are sold in America, in Europe. In fact, I wish to share with you that the Nano Verify website, yeah, we enjoy a very high amount of traffic. Yeah, and it's not just from Malaysia. We have 30% of our traffic coming from United Kingdom and 20% from America. And why is this? Why is this the case? This is simply because our product, I mean the products which we have certified, Malaysian products, yeah, I'm proud to say, are being sold in those countries. So when they see the logo, the Nano Verify logo, of course what they want to do is they want to find out, is this a genuine logo? So when they log on to our website, www.nanoverify.com.my, yeah, we have a section where we can check the certificate number and what products which we have verified. So you can see that by having our certification, it instills confidence and promotes sales. Yeah. Now the certificate is valid for a period of 2 years. Okay. So meaning after every 2 years it will be renewed. Yeah. However, there will be an annual audit, which is called a surveillance audit, to make sure that everything is in fact going as planned and according to the standards that is set by the program. Now, a lot of you, I'm sure by now, are wondering, how is the nanotechnology in Malaysia like? You know, how come the government has set a certification program? You know, it must be a big industry. So the answer to this is that it is a growing industry. Yeah, it's definitely not small. Yeah. Looking at this slide here, we can see that we have a lot of the activities, yeah, focused in West Malaysia, yeah, and in West Malaysia, as you can see from that big circle, is focused in the central region, in the Klang Valley. There's a lot of companies involved in nanotechnology. Yeah, we have close to 100 companies, yeah, with 87 of them being SMEs, yeah, small to medium enterprises. Which is very good, because in Malaysia 96 to 97% of companies are in fact SMEs. So to see that there is a high level involvement when it comes to SMEs, it is something very good, because we can see that this technology is not just accessible to big companies, but also to smaller companies which are able to produce products that can be used on a daily basis by Malaysians. Okay, and of course, when we look at the map, there is some activities in the southern region and also in the northern region, but mostly focused in the Klang Valley. Yeah. So what are the composition of these companies? Here we have 33% of these companies producing chemicals. Yeah, chemicals as a raw material or chemical products. Okay. We have 9% in machinery, 11% in petroleum products. So you may ask, oh, what is the role of nanotechnology in petroleum products? So actually, graphene is in fact, if you've heard of graphite, which is essentially a carbon-based element. So graphene is actually layers of graphite, which is between 1 to 10 atoms in thickness. Okay, so this is heavily used in the lubricant industry. Yeah, we have certified quite a few types of lubricants, and I'm very happy to say that when it comes to applications for automotive and petroleum, we see that nanotechnology is widely adopted. Yeah, it is in fact a growth area. We have 10% in biotechnology, 60% in agriculture and food processing. Yeah. So agriculture, the usage of, say, for example, zeolites in fertilizers, yeah, to assist in nutrient dispersion for crops, and food processing. It's actually using nanomaterials into packaging materials. Yeah, to increase the strength of the packaging material, to make it more eco-friendly. Yeah. And of course, the rest, we have pharmaceuticals, as I mentioned, cosmetics, and we are very careful, yeah, to ensure that the pharmaceutical products which we verify, has also been recognized by the National Pharmaceutical Regulatory Agency. So this is where agencies under the government of Malaysia, we work very closely to ensure there's harmonization between technology, safety, and safety as well. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So when we talk about how much we have spent on the certification for SMEs, is 1.88 million ringgit. It's not that much because the certification itself doesn't cost that much. But the commercial impact to the companies that have obtained this certification is a lot. Yeah, I will talk about that in the next few slides. And as I mentioned, 87 SMEs from a total of 109 companies. Yeah, so don't worry if you're a small to medium scale enterprise, you're not alone. There are a lot of SMEs that have in fact incorporated nanotechnology into their processes, and differentiated their products from other products out there in the market. So you can do it, and we will help you do it. Impact on revenue. This one I will elaborate later. Is an increase across the board by 20.34 million. So you're looking at around a 10% increase of revenue per SME, which I think is healthy, considering it's just the certification and providing confidence to the consumer. So as Nano Verify and Nano Malaysia Group and also MOSTI goes on to promote the awareness of nanotechnology products, I believe this amount will further increase. Yeah. So as promised, impact to the industry. So when we talk about 2015 to 2021, the total that we have spent is 2.56 million. Now the earlier slide is just for SMEs. So 2.56 includes the bigger companies, the 109 companies. Okay, just to clarify. So in terms of the amount of nanotech products which we have verified locally is 16%. Yeah, we realize that it is something that needs to be improved, and both the Nano Malaysia Berhad Group and MOSTI is constantly working, to increase the number of products that have been verified. So as you well know, we have certifications. Sorry, we have grants for the certifications, and there is also tax relief in terms of rebate for companies that actually spend on the certification. So our job is now to promote this industry awareness, user awareness, industry awareness, and I'm happy to say that we have progressed very far from when we started in 2015. So increase in revenue. If we look at the horizon of 2015 to 2020, again including the large companies, 131.7 million. So as you can see, the larger companies, of course, add to 80 million compared to the 20.7 from the SMEs. Overall impact on revenue, if we consider the large companies, is 75%. It is a very, very big. Okay. So when we look at this across the industry value chain, now nanotechnology cuts across all industries. It can be applied in pharmaceuticals, in forestry, in the automotive sector, in the coating sector. So that's it. Let's look at what sort of revenue improvements that products in these various sectors have seen. In pharmaceuticals, we have a 23% increase in revenue simply by obtaining the certification and gaining consumer trust. Plastic products, 17%. Textiles and textile product, is 199%. Non-metallic mineral products, 72%. Electrical and electronic products, 10%. Chemicals and chemical products. This is where I talk about coatings, paintings, and even multi-purpose cleaners. excuse me, so 82%. Machinery and equipment, 208%. Yeah. Biotechnology, 115%. Agriculture and food processing, 32%. And petroleum products by 23%. So this is testament to the fact that, of course, technology is a good thing. Yeah. But I think awareness and also confidence. Confidence is very, very important, simply because there are quite a lot of unverified products out there. And trust me, when we approach companies, there are even companies which do not know what is nanotechnology, but they freely use the term nanotechnology in their product, on the product packaging and their product claims. So consumer, please be aware. So as I mentioned earlier, we are not just looking at the local market. Yeah, we are also looking globally. Yeah, how do we export Malaysian technology, Malaysian products to the wider market out there? So as mentioned, our certification is in fact aligned to ISO 17065, meaning is internationally accepted. So what can we expect from the global market? Yeah, in 2021, yeah, the nanotechnology market, yeah, has been projected at $62 billion. So you know, it's a tremendous opportunity, and of course, working together with the likes of Madrid, yeah, MITI, yeah, and various diplomatic channels, we are able, yeah, to help push local nanotechnology products internationally. Yeah. So we also have a very well planned marketing strategy as well as strategic alliance. Yeah. Of course, we have the usual mass awareness campaign, not just via printed media. We realize that nowadays it's all about social media. So we have a very strong presence in Facebook, in Instagram, as well as LinkedIn for the more industry-centric engagements. Yeah, we conduct not just awareness through these platforms, but we also run competitions. Yeah, I think this is very, very popular on our website. So we ask simple questions about the product, and as you know, we require people who take part in these competitions to share about these products on their storyline. So you can see that there is an exponential effect in terms of providing exposure to products which we have verified. So in fact, a lot of companies they enjoy these competitions and these social media engagements which we organize. Simply and then this is feedback from these companies. They say that they much rather spend funds on our social media campaigns rather than going on physical exhibitions. Yeah, of course, physical exhibitions, Nano Verify will also provide that avenue for you. So you know, I think this is our differentiator. We don't just provide certification. We help you promote awareness, and we link you up internationally. Yeah. So that's on the consumer side. We also build industry awareness. We mentioned Madrid and MITI. There's also MIDA, yeah, through FOMCA, yeah, through FMM. We work through these channels to ensure that the industry is aware that there is this mark and the importance of this mark in actually gaining consumer trust in Malaysia, yeah, and also abroad. Yeah. And we also continue to expand our business network, as I mentioned, to Taiwan. We have countries, ASEAN countries, yeah, especially Indonesia. And now Indonesia is very, very interesting. Yeah, they are also looking. In fact, we have certified several Indonesian-made nanotechnology products. So in Indonesia, they cannot claim to have any technology. In our case, nanotechnology, without having the proper certifications. Yeah. So we have partnerships in Indonesia, we have partnerships in the Philippines, yeah, and of course globally we have verified products from France, from Australia. I'm very, very happy to say that we are a very, very international program with a global reach. Okay. So in terms of strategic alliance, as mentioned, we have partnerships with Tanida, Taiwan, Iran, Indonesia, and through professional associations. For example, the Asian Nano Forum. The name is Asian, but there is participation from very strong participation from Europe and America as well. Yeah, and of course through the ISO community, which I myself represent Malaysia for ISO TC 229 nanotechnologies. So this is actually the end of my presentation. I wish to thank all of you for your patience and also for your participation. Yeah, and I would like to appeal to all of you out there. If you are a consumer, please ensure that any product, not just nanotechnology products, any products, they have the relevant certificate, the relevant certifications, the relevant approvals. And of course, for nanotechnology products, please look for our Nano Verify logo. And if in doubt, please visit our website to check, whether the product you're buying has obtained our certification. And if you're from industry, please look us up, and we will help you move to nanotechnology and be part of the industry 4.0 journey. So with that, thank you very much. Back to you, Dr. Aimi.
All right. Thank you, Engineer Johan, for your beneficial presentation. Right.
Hello everyone and salam sejahtera to our fellow partners and speakers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, viewers, listeners and participants. Welcome to the Nanotech Talk 2021 webinar under the Nano Kebangsaan 2021. My name is Amirul Ashraf and I'll be your host for today. For your information, Nano Kebangsaan or NanoKEB 2021 is a partnership program between Nano Malaysia Berhad and National Nanotechnology Centre NNC under the Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation MOSTI. It is a virtual event that consists of activities which are virtual exhibition forum, nanotech talk, seminar and many more. NanoKEB event focuses on the nanotechnology development in Malaysia aligned with the National Nanotechnology Policy, NNP. NNP consists of 4 strategic levels that will be supported by 15 strategies and 32 initiatives with special focus on the area of energy, environment, agriculture, medicine, and electronic devices. The initiative aims to bring Malaysia closer to the aspirations of the National Science, Technology and Innovation Policy to become a high-tech nation by 2030. Our event partners under Nano Kebangsaan are National Nanotechnology Centre NNC, Nano Malaysia Berhad NMB, Malaysia Nanotechnology Association MNA, Sirim Berhad, University Teknologi Mara UITM, Nano Verify Sendirian Berhad and VSP, University Kebangsaan Malaysia UKM. To begin our webinar this morning, I would like to share a bit information about our webinar. Our session is called Nanotech Talk Webinar, which is a virtual session that consists of Nano Malaysia strategic partners and speaker. Nanotech Talk is a yearly event by Nano Malaysia Berhad that focuses in 4 key strategic sectors. Number 1, electronic devices and system. Number 2, food and agriculture. Number 3, energy and environment. And number 4, wellness, medical and healthcare. Our theme this year aligns with the national initiative in empowering the Industry Revolution 4.0 and the Internet of Nano Things IoT. This webinar aims to showcase valuable insights by featuring the nanotechnology, market trends, issues mainly for industries, companies, startups who like to venture into nanotechnology and understanding what Nano Malaysia offers. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, viewers, listeners, and participants, before we start the session, allow me to give a brief introduction about our session today by Miranda Asia Malaysia Sendirian Berhad. Miranda Asia is a total solution intellectual property consultancy focuses upon protecting the IP rights of their international and local clients in ASEAN and beyond, with network of offices in Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, Philippines, and Vietnam. They offer the complete spectrum of professional intellectual property services in some of the most challenging business environment in Asia. Miranda Asia comprises eminently qualified patent and trademark specialists with experience in handling client matters in multiple Asian jurisdictions. Without further ado, I will give the floor to Surya Sadanathan, the Head of Patent and Industrial Design Department, to deliver her presentation about our topic today, which is Intellectual Property IP in Nanotechnology Perspective. Dipersilakan Surya.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. First and foremost, I would like to thank Nano Malaysia Berhad for inviting Miranda Asia Malaysia Sendirian Berhad to speak on nanotech for the Nano Kebangsaan 2021 event. So before I begin the topic of today, let me share a bit about myself as well as a bit about our company. My name is Surya Sadanathan. I'm the Head of Patent Department from Miranda Asia Malaysia Sendirian Berhad. As to my educational qualification, I have a double degree in Computer and Communication Systems Engineering, and I've also recently obtained a law degree from University of Malaya. I'm a registered patent agent in Malaysia with MIPO. Prior to me starting a career in intellectual property, I was actually attached to a multinational company, specifically in the electronics industry, for 4 years, in which I've gained substantial experience in the field of telecommunication. And here in IP, I've been in the IP industry now for a total of 13 years. And I would say that I'm really privileged of being under the guidance of our CEO, Miranda Asia's CEO, Mr. Patrick Miranda, who has served the IP profession for over 40 years. And here in IP, I'm involved in both patent and design prosecution, where I have extensive experience specifically on patent drafting in a variety of technical fields with emphasis placed on ICT. Apart from that, I've also assisted and provide technical support in patent litigation, where in areas that we have assisted our clients before. In terms of our company profile, Miranda Asia is now 35 years old. Our company was set up in 1986 by our founders, both Mr. and Mrs. Patrick and Gladys Miranda. So we have extended our network offices in Asia, from Malaysia to Singapore, Brunei, Indonesia, Thailand, Philippines, Vietnam, as well as an agent in India. So in short, we here in Miranda Asia provides you with a one-stop shop as a one-stop center for all our clients' IP needs in Southeast Asia, as well as the Indian subcontinent. So now let's go to our talk of today, which is an interesting topic, intellectual property in nanotechnology perspective. So you may ask, what is nanotechnology? Nanotechnology is also shortened to nanotech, where nanotech is the science or the use of matter on an atomic, molecular, and supramolecular scale for industrial purposes. So nanotech is also referred to as a particular technological goal of precisely manipulating atoms and molecules for fabrication of macro-scale products, referred to as molecular biotechnology. The National Technology Initiative has established nanotechnology as the manipulation of matter at nanoscale from 1 to 100 nanometers. So in short, nanotechnology operates at an extremely small scale. So having known the definition of nanotechnology, let's move on to patenting nanotechnology inventions. Nanotechnology in multidisciplinary fields have made amazing inventions possible. So I will show you some examples. So as shown on the slides, these amazing inventions are being shown and applied in extremely small electronic and powerful components, where products are more robust, lighter, and thinner. Further, efficient and powerful use of alternative energy sources. So you could see from the slide here, these are examples of nanotechnology products. I mean, these photographs here, where you could see in the medical industry, where medicines are being made. And here you could see water purification technology, coatings in material sciences, as well as electronic components in the electronic industry. With these amazing inventions, let's just see what's the statistics on nanotechnology patents. I mean, we know that science which operates nanotechnology, which is science which operates at extremely small scale, and in view of these amazing inventions, that would generate a number of patents. Okay, so I would say that nanotechnology is indeed thriving on patents. There's an increase in nanotechnology patent applications, where it's 3 times more since early 2000 till today. So we have researched and we have obtained statistical data collected by StatNano. I mean, as we all know, StatNano provides global and regional ranking of main indicators of nanoscience, technology, and industry. So StatNano has collected patent data from the Orbit patent database in 2020. And the statistics are, as shown here, you could see that a total of 22,462 nanotechnology patents were issued by USPTO, 9,561 of which were granted patents and 12,901 were published patent applications. So apart from USPTO, let us take a look at EPO. What's the scenario and the situation there in EPO? So in EPO, there's 5,292 nanotechnology patents were issued, among which 3,138 granted patents, and 2,154 published patent applications. So in short, EPO's patents are 23.6% of the US PTO patents, and it's actually an increase of 23.4% increase compared to year 2019. Okay, let's take a look at the countries. The top 10 countries in the world holding nanotechnology granted patents and published patent applications in the US PTO and EPO. So what we could see here is that USA ranks top with a total of 4,913 patents at US PTO and 952 patents at EPO. So the growth is also shown for both US PTO and EPO. So USA top is the first, top the list, followed by South Korea, China, Japan, Taiwan, Germany, France, Saudi Arabia, UK, and Canada. So from this table, we could see that there is a very good trend in terms of patenting nanotechnology-based invention. So apart from the top 10 countries, let's take a look at companies holding most nanotechnology patent at USPTO in 2019. This would give us a feel and as to the type of companies, patent owners, patent holders having nanotechnology type patent. So as you could see from the table here, IBM, as we all know, IBM International Business Machines Corporation topped the list, followed by Samsung Electronics, Intel Corporation. So we could say that the top three in the table are from the electronics industry mainly. Yeah, IBM in terms of computing, Samsung in terms of electronics, where Samsung produced various electronics products, followed by Intel. And the list goes on, where we could see other industry players, BOE Technology, Taiwan Semiconductor, Samsung Display. So these are all still within the electronics industry. And followed by the regions of the University of California, with a substantial good amount of number of patents, where they have a total of 258 patents in 2019, followed by the government of the United States of America, and the list goes on, Honhai Precision Industries, Tsinghua University. And we could see here, this following slide shows us the remaining 10, which goes till 20, where we have MIT, LG Chem, 3M, Saudi Arabian Oil Company. So you could see a diverse of fields, where Saudi Arabian Oil Company is for oil and gas, Nanotech Instruments, we have another owner, Commissariat Al Energy, King Fayed University of Petroleum and Minerals, Global Foundries, the Boeing Company, Center National de la Recherche. So you could see, and we could actually say that it is indeed true, where nanotechnology is being applied to a multidisciplinary fields. Yeah. So having said that, these amazing inventions which have been patented, so the next step would be commercialization. So we all know that the importance of having patents at the end of the day is also to look at the commercialization aspect of it. So what about commercialization of nanotechnology products? Okay, mainly technology commercialization. What is commercialization? Commercialization is conversion of ideas into products, where you have your ideas, which is in intellectual form, which is an intangible asset, where we actually patent it. So next, you need to convert those ideas into actual tangible form, which is into actual products. So what are the other elements? So essential elements for commercialization. So what do we look at in terms of commercialization? Innovative products, market potential, market size, as well as value of the technology or invention. These are all important elements, as we need to know the value of the invention prior to commercialization in order for the patent owner to know the standing of the technology. So in terms of commercialization, patent owner could also look into licensing. The reason being, strategic planning is required to actually produce and commercialize the product. And patent owners would then decide whether to manufacture or produce the product directly or through licensing to a third party globally to create revenue, to generate revenue and income deriving from the patented invention, which is based on the patent itself, the value of the patent. So these are all aspects and important aspects of commercialization of the invention and commercialization of the product, of nanotechnology specifically. Okay, let us now look into issues and challenges. Okay, what are the issues and challenges that we would see from IP in nanotechnology perspective? Okay, we would perceive a risk of overlapping patents in view of overly broad granted claims. Reason being, nanotechnology being of nanoscale invention. So in drafting of the patent, we know that there are many granted patents where it's very broad for nanotechnology. So in this aspect, it would then remain as a challenge, whether patent rights without specifying the size of the invention. For example, it's a use of a capacitor or a nanocapacitor. So is the size being specified or is it in general terms? So if the size is not being specified, if it's in general terms, would this be an infringement? I mean, would the invention be an infringement by a third party of a corresponding nanotechnology product? I mean, in terms of this, patent owners must seek good and strong patents to stand up to litigation. I mean, first and foremost, for nanotechnology patents, in order to ascertain that the patent is strong, it all goes down to the patent claims which provide for the scope of invention. So we see that this may be a challenge where patent owners need to look at. So patent owners need to be mindful that drafting of the specification, the claim specifically, has to be strong enough to cover all boundaries of the invention to ensure that patent owners are able to stand up to any possible litigation. So in conclusion, nanotechnology is and indeed the future of general purpose technology in multitude innovations due to its ability to provide solutions at all levels. So with this, I hope that everyone has a clear understanding of how intellectual property in the perspective of nanotechnology would be a driving force and a future technology in all disciplines and all industries. With that, I would like to end my presentation of today. And thank you very much. And should there be any questions, please feel free to ask. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Surya, on your presentation. To our dear viewers, participants, if there are any questions related to our current session today, you may drop your questions together with your email address at the comment section. Our staff is pleased to help you as soon as this session ends. Our viewers and participants, sadly, we have come to an end of our webinar. But before that, I would like to remind that we will have other sessions of Nanotech Talk with more topics covered by our industry partners, as for example, by TS Dr. Mariam Firdaus binti Ahmad Nordin, Senior Lecturer UTM and the Managing Director AM Zaidin Ventures Sendirian Berhad, that will deliver her presentation about quality products start from quality extraction, and by Mr. Bernard Sagayaraj, Director of Blue Snow Group, which he will be presenting a topic of nanofluids for cooling application, for cooling system, and by Professor Khalid from Sunway Universities on topics related to graphene applications, and by Lux Research, a market research organization, which will explain about the nanotechnology market in Malaysia and globally. So stay tuned with us. We would like to thank you for your generous time today. Thank you once again to our partners, speakers, participants for joining us today. Terima kasih, stay safe. We'll see you on our next session soon. Bye-bye.